Hey guys, what's going on? In this next series of videos, I'm going to be walking through all the different things that Lightroom provides, or the different ways that Lightroom provides for you to sort of tag and organize your videos. I don't use all of these. There's a lot of them, and you might not want to use all of them, but I'm going to go through the options that are available to you. And then at the last video of this little mini series of tagging and organizing, I'll walk through my process and the things that I use. So in this first one, we're going to be going through keywords and maybe metadata if there's time, but at least we're going to start with keywords. So let's get into it here. So you can see here, we have our photos from our import that we did through our import series from our trips to the White Mountains. And over here, you can see we're still in the library panel. And over here on the right, you can see the keywording panel. And right here, here's a list of photos that actually have keywords applied to them, and you can tell that they have keywords by this little box, this little black box down here. It looks like a little tag icon, and if you hover over it, it says photo has keywords. So I've gone through before here, and I've just added some. And you can see right here in the keyword tags, if you have it set to enter keywords, you can just manually add keywords here separated by commas. So in this photo, I have hotel, vacation, White Mountains. These are just little searchable terms that you can apply to photos that you can later search on. So I don't particularly use keywords. I think, for my for what I use Lightroom for and for what I do, it's just a little bit too much, a little bit extra work. But your mileage may vary with it, and you might want to use these. So how this works, like I mentioned, you just add the words here separated by commas. You can also add them in this little box. So I can say snow, because there's snow in this picture, and hit enter. And you can see it just adds it into the set here. You can go in and just highlight and delete them all, or you can add them all by separated by commas. Hotel, I could say vacation. It's actually suggesting ones that I've used before. So if I start to type snow, it'll pop up like that. What you can also do is you can come down here and click keywords and containing keywords. And here it'll prevent you from editing this box, but you can just click here to add them if you don't want to type them all out like that. So we can say, I'll just say like trip. There's another one that could work. So that's how you can add keywords to an individual photo. And you can see here, I've selected this photo here, so the keywords are being added to this photo. If I click the next one, it has the keywords that I had before: hotel, vacation, White Mountains. That's what it has for all of these. So I'm just going to go back in and delete these, start fresh. You can see as I delete these keywords, the little black tag icon goes away, so that you can tell if there's no keywords added to the photo. And if you remember on import, when we did our import, there's a way for you to add keywords on imports. You can do this as you import your photos if you have a set of keywords that you normally add, or some main ones. Like you could have a keyword called landscape if you were just doing landscape photos, or winter if it's photos that are shot in the season of winter. So there is a way to make this a little bit more efficient if you do this on import. So the other thing you have down here is keyword suggestions. These are keywords that you've used before. And it will suggest ones here to use. You can select these individually, and they get added. So I click vacation, click snow, and it gets removed from this list and it gets added up here. So that's what that is. And then there's a keyword set. So by default, Lightroom includes some sets that you might want to use. So if I select outdoor photography, you can see it gives us some options here: landscape, spring, wildlife, summer. So I'm going to click winter, landscape, and you can see those get added up here. You can also create your own sets, so you can save the current ones as a new preset. I think there are some keyword sets that you can download from the web, the interwebs, if you will. There's one called wedding photography. You can see there's bride, groom. And basically what these allow you to do is tag the photos, and then later you can search on these words and return them, or you can create a smart collection, which I'll get into later, and say, I want to bring back all my photos that have the keyword bride. So that's this panel. That's how this panel works. And then below you have a keyword list, which is a list of all the keywords that you have previously used before. And this is important because you want to make sure that you are consistent with your naming convention. You don't want to misspell things. You don't want to, say I have a keyword called White Mountains. I don't want a separate keyword called white and then I abbreviate mountains with MNTS. You want to make sure you're using the same ones each time. And what this allows you to do is you can select a photo and then you can click next to the keyword here and you can see it gets added. So I've clicked family and family gets added to the list. Another thing you can do with this list is you can create a hierarchy of keywords. So for example, under family, I can right click and say create keyword tag inside family. And this window will pop up and I might want to call it, say I have a sister named Jane. I'm going to write Jane for the keyword. Synonyms is a word that you can search for that will return that keyword. So for example, for a synonym, I just might say sister. It's going to put it inside family, and I can also just by default add it to the selected photo if I want, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click create. You can see I'll expand family. You can see Jane underneath there. So say for example, this person here, say this person was Jane. I could click Jane, and now Jane is applied to the keyword, but since it's under this hierarchy, what I can do, and I'm going to get more into how this filtering and search thing works in a video towards the end of the series, but for now, just so I can show you how this works, this photo right here has the keyword Jane. Remember, we had a synonym called sister, and it's underneath the family keyword. So I'm going to go to text up here to filter. I'm going to filter on keywords. I'm going to say contain. I'm going to say family. You can see it returns this photo even though it only has Jane. Because Jane sits under family, it's going to return this keyword. So that's how the hierarchy works. And again, just to show you how the synonym thing works, I can type sister and it still returns this photo. Just to show you, if I type brother, it'll go away because I don't have anything called brother. But because we added that synonym called sister, it's now going to return Jane. So that's how this hierarchy works. That's how the synonyms works. It's pretty powerful. I'm going to clear this filter here. So another way to apply keywords to your photos is you can use the sync metadata button. So for example, this photo here, I have landscape, snow, vacation, white mountains, winter, all applied to this one photo. With this photo selected, I can hold down Shift, click this one at the end. You can see they're all selected. I'm going to go down and click Sync Metadata. And the Sync Metadata dialog box pops up here. And if I scroll all the way down, this is all the metadata related to a photo. You can see keywords. If I have this checked, these are the keywords that were on that first photo, and I click Synchronize. It's going to go through and add those keywords to all of these photos. So here, if I click this one now, you can see it has landscape, snow, vacation, white mountains, winter. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to click Control-C to copy them. And another way you can use to apply keywords is this spray paint painter tool. So if I click this down here, I'm going to paint keywords. And in here, I'm going to hit Control-V to paste in those keywords. And then now you can see when I hover over a photo, it has that little spray can. And if I just click, you can see that little thing popped up, keywords added. If I click here, and then click here. Now if I hit escape to get out of the painter and click on this photo, you can see it added all of those keywords. So that's just another way you can add keywords. It's pretty powerful. There's lots of ways to tag. You can use this hierarchy. It's just a way that Lightroom gives you, or an option that Lightroom gives you to sort your photos and to search on them later and create smart collections. If you do decide to use keywords, I recommend you come up with a process that works for you and stick to it. You don't want to start doing it and then just say, I'll just stop, or start going down the path of not using it, and then you decide you do want to use it, because then you're going to run into an instance where you have some photos are tagged, some aren't. And if you get a lot of photos in here, you might have to go back through and retag things. So that's kind of the main reason why I don't use it. I don't particularly need it. I feel like my folder structure and the way I sort things by the file folders on my computer are enough for me. I can certainly see myself maybe going in at some point, maybe coming up with just a few base keywords and mass applying them to a bunch of photos at once if I decide to do this later. But for now, I haven't really made much use of it. But you might find this handy. So that's keywords. In the next video, we're going to get into metadata, which kind of functions similar to keywords, but it relates to the metadata on the actual files. So thanks for checking this one out, and I will catch you guys in the next one when we talk about metadata. Cheers.